Michael Jackson's doctor, Conrad Murray, told Lisa Guerrero whom he thinks is responsible for Prince's death. Watch this interview with Lisa from Inside Edition.
There is clear instructions on that bottle. If Prince, as an adult, chooses to take 15 pills every 6 hours versus 2 pills every 6 hours, in the absence of the doctor, do you hold him responsible?
But Dr. Murray said he disagrees with people who compare him to Prince's doctor. He's particularly upset with Dr. Drew Pinsky.
He's clearly wrong. He's drawing the wrong conclusion.
Well, and Lisa, if you remember, my main conclusion was don't deal with somebody with substance and mental health issue on your own, unless it's, and especially when you don't have the training to do it, Lisa, but go ahead.
Well, my takeaway after having sat down with Dr. Murray throughout the day, I mean, the story that aired was 4 or 5 minutes, but I sat down with him for a couple of hours. And my takeaway was this is a man who refuses to take responsibility at all for anything that happened to Michael Jackson. As a matter of fact, not only did he not take responsibility, he implied that perhaps Michael Jackson was depressed or suicidal and took the propofol himself. Or at one point, he even said, you know, he kept coming back to the fact that he's the victim, meaning Dr. Conrad Murray's the victim. After I said, sir, isn't the victim the one that's actually in the grave? But he continued to call himself a victim, and even at one point, in the sit-down interview with me, he compared himself to Jesus Christ.
Oh boy!
That's how completely delusional he seemed to be, to me anyway. It was shocking.
Dax, why aren't we reading about this on TMZ? I see your wheels turning.
Well, because I'm sitting here and I was going to bring up Conrad Murray during our last discussion of, you know, coming across the state lines with these pills and desperately trying to help the person. Well, I think Conrad Murray was desperately trying to help Michael Jackson sleep and trying to make him happy.
Yes.
And so I was drawing the correlation here. I'm just shocked that he still hasn't got that after all these years.
Yeah,
well,
thank God the rest of us have. But Lisa, what?
One of the things that I found most disturbing at the end of the day is that Dr. Conrad Murray is still seeing patients. He's a consultant. He's no longer technically a doctor. He can't.
Yeah, but Lisa, I would take issue with that.
Can you imagine? Well,
no,
wait.
I can't because
Who would go to Dr. Conrad Murray for anything?
But listen,
period.
I'm sure.
Wait.
Mark,
I see the value.
Mark, what's the value?
I see the value in him as a consultant. I do. What I would do is I'd hire him if I had a clinic. I'd say, tell me exactly what you would do, and then I tell everybody to do the opposite.
Listen, I will tell you what. Do not mistake people being good in their area of expertise and really not even understanding when they're over their head. They get a little too grandiose. They're thinking they know how to do everything, and they get over here and really end up in trouble. I have no doubt he was an excellent cardiologist. I do not. There's no way that he was not. Everything that I heard about and read about him suggested he was. He does not know how to deal with a patient with substance or mental health issue at all. He does not understand that, and he shouldn't have been doing that. That's all I'm saying. And listen, these guys that are trying to help Prince were over their head as well. Mark.
I'm not a fan of people who don't accept responsibility for what they've done. For him to tell Lisa that he bears no responsibility at all after a jury disagreed with him, then I can't believe anything that comes out of his mouth. He may be a wonderful doctor in some respect.
Yes.
But until he accepts responsibility for his role in this, you're dead to me.
And not only that, Mark, I don't like physicians blaming patients. I understand the patients may have a role to play, but your job as the doctor is to figure out if the patient's lying, to figure out if you should be giving 10 pills or 2 pills or 50 pills to a patient. That's on us.
Right.
That's on us. So if you give him enough to take 15 twice a day, that's on you, not on the patient for having done it.